It's the Dead Serious Show, where the wind and wild glow. Ghosts and cryptids take the stage, but we're flipping every page. No more creeping in the dark. We're the ones who leave a mark.
Welcome to the Dead Serious Show. This is episode 6, and we have a great one for you tonight. As always, I'm Cameron Hessen, and I'm joined tonight by my friend and co-host.
Hey, I'm Brandon. Nice to meet you guys.
I'm going to say it like I always do. It never gets better. I got to get you some more energy. We got to get it going. We got to get excited.
I just wanted to make it awkward that time.
Is that your shtick at this point?
I think so. I think we're just going to keep that.
Well, dude, it's been a couple weeks since we last recorded. That's becoming a theme with us. It's really hard to get it to be a very consistent schedule, but as you know, this month has been kind of chaotic for me. But we did get the Halloween episode done. I think that was a pretty good episode. I was really excited about how it turned out. And we still have our 2 candies ready to be chosen as a winner because I never posted about it on social media for everybody to vote.
Oh, nice. I was going to say, who voted the most?
I mean, if you want to know who voted the most, let's go to the Hauntline here. If you don't know what the Hauntline is, that's a way for you to reach out to us and communicate with us. You can send us text messages. You can send us a voicemail, ask us questions, send compliments, complaints about Brandon, you name it. But we did have a text message. What'd you say?
I said, always about me.
We did have 2 votes come in on the Hauntline, thanks to our friends Eddie and Anna Leandro. They both voted for Twix.
Ooh.
So, I mean, technically, since I never posted about it, Twix seems to be the winner, but we'll see when I actually post about it on social media this week.
We can make it a tiebreaker right now, or make it a tie.
Well, I mean, are we both going to vote Reese's? Is that what we're going with?
I think so.
I mean, I would vote Reese's, even though I did just have a Twix about 20-something minutes ago.
I'm not going to lie, I had quite a few for Halloween.
I mean, why not? If it's there, it's ready. Speaking of, I never even went to the store to go get the Halloween candy on discount.
Shame on
I
me.
mean, I've spent a lot of time in the hospital this week. Not for me, clearly. For those of you that know, and for those of you that don't know, my father, I'm going to call him Steven for the sake of just getting under his skin. His name is Keith, but his real first name is Steven. He just hates it. He recently underwent a triple bypass surgery just to repair some of the valves or vessels or whatever it is in your heart. I'm doing a podcast about ghosts, not about medical stuff, so don't really count on me for your medical advice. I treat all of my ailments with Dayquil, so definitely don't come to me. But he's doing well. He's at home now finally. He finally got to come home today, which I think we're all pretty excited about. And he might actually be able to get a little bit of sleep, which I think is his big thing.
In his own bed at that.
Well, no, he's going to be sleeping either in the recliner or on the couch.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah, when you have that type of surgery, it's like for the first, I don't remember what the doctor said, like 6-ish weeks, you really can't do anything that involves anything over 10 pounds. And lifting a human body up definitely is heavier than 10 pounds. So anything that he can just easily grab his little heart hugger that he has to wear, it's like a little vest or something that's got 2 handles right here, just to keep the sternum squeezed shut so you're not ripping any sutures or anything like that. And he just has to like rock himself out of the chair. So recliner or couch it is, but it's better than being in a hospital bed or a hospital chair and having nurses come in all night and things beeping and alarms going off that no one actually knows what they're for.
Yeah, at least a little peace and quiet.
Oh yeah, and he's pretty pumped about that. I did get a text message. Owen has a friend who works at the hospital, and this is going to excite Dad, and I have to tell him all about this. Like, we're going to compliment Dad for a little bit because he just had heart surgery. I don't want to ridicule him too much. I mean, I love the man. But he got a text message from one of his friends saying that my dad happened to be one of the sweetest patients they've had in a while. So
That's a
props to
surprise.
Dad on that one. Thanks for behaving and doing what you're supposed to do, just to get you out of the hospital quicker, as quick as possible. But I mean, he had good care, both in the emergency room that he went to, I think Friday night. I don't really remember. It's been a heck of a week. And up on the open heart surgery floor. A lot of them were people that I grew up with, which was cool. I got to see them and make sure that he was being taken care of properly because they're all really, really good people. So I mean, it's been a good week, but he's home, and we're all excited about that. I stopped to see him earlier today, and he seemed to be in better spirits. I'm looking forward to actually seeing and hearing him laugh again. That's probably the thing that I've missed the most since he had his chest split wide open.
Yeah.
Because laughing or anything like that, it's really, really hard on the chest and all that. And so I'm looking forward to the day where I can just see him giggle. Because I mean, if you know my dad, his laughs are always really funny. He starts like this weird silent laugh, and you can tell he's either up to something or he's just really tickled by something that's in his head, and he can't wait to get it out. And it takes him forever. Like he's like having an asthma attack when he's laughing about a story or something from the past. and I need to. There's one story that he tells. It's one of my favorite stories, and he always gets so tickled by it. I need to see if he'll let me record it. But it's the time that his little brother saw a ghost in the Russellville, Kentucky cemetery. Over there by the Sexton House, which, if you know Russellville, Kentucky lore and haunted history, the Sexton House is like our big claim to fame there in Russellville.
Yeah.
And this just takes place right in the cemetery that sits adjacent to the Sexton House. So if I'm gonna see if he'll let me record him whenever he gets better. Clearly, I'll see if he'll let me record him, and I'll put him into the episode here so you guys can hear that story. Because I've heard it about 1,000 times, and I love to continue asking him about it just to keep hearing his reaction to it.
That's awesome.
Have you ever heard that story?
I don't know. I don't remember that. That's what I was just trying to think if I don't know. I don't remember.
I'm pretty
sure I
you
have,
but
it's been a while.
I mean, as long as we've been friends and as many times as you've been around my dad, surely you have.
I'd imagine so, but yeah, I just can't think or remember.
But I mean, it's for sure fitting.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it again. Cool.
But, I mean,
cool little fact though.
Let's hear the fact.
On my dad's side, my great grandfather, so dad's dad, he actually boarded up
Dad's dad. So that's your
great grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he actually boarded the window up in the Sexton's house, the one that everybody says that you can see her face in.
Oh yeah.
And I heard the story once, and it was like he went downstairs, grabbed some nails or whatever, came back up or whatever it was, and there was a pile of clothes that was sitting in this like wooden chair next to the door, and he went down, came back up, and it was in the floor. All the clothes were, and then he had to go back downstairs. He picked them up, put them back in the chair, and then he went back downstairs again for something else, and they were in the floor again. So he finished up, boarded the window real quick, and then put those clothes back and ran out.
Honestly, in all the years that I've lived in Logan County and heard the story of the Sexton House, that's probably the most credible ghost story that I've even heard come out of the Sexton House.
Right.
Because, I mean, so the story goes, and I'm not 100% on this, so don't quote me. We can get into this deeper on another day, on another show. Because, I mean, it is an interesting story that people need to hear. Plus, it's the only thing we got going for us there in Russellville. But
we have some cool Jesse James stuff too, but
I mean, we do have some cool Jesse James stuff. But the Sexton House, and Brandon, correct me if there's anything that I'm misspeaking about that you know for sure, the backstory on, but they're always going to, like, I think it was prom or something.
Yeah, it was prom night, and it was storming.
Yeah, it was storming. Her parents wouldn't let her go, and I don't know if it's because they just didn't want her going to prom or if they didn't want her getting out in the storm. And this was
horse and buggy times.
Decades ago, yeah. And so she was like up in the window, cursing God and all that. Lightning struck her, and she died. And so the story goes, you drive by on a stormy night, you'll see her. I've never seen her. They've got
Only when-
they've got
Yeah, only the
Plopping
flash of
on the road
lightning.
now.
Yeah. Only during the flash of lightning, they say you can. I've never seen her either, and I've looked and been through there and sat at that stoplight multiple times.
Oh yeah, and you used to live not too far from it.
Yeah.
On multiple occasions. And so, I mean, could it be real? Could it be not? No one will ever get access in there, as far as I know. I've tried for years.
Yeah, I don't think that they let anybody in.
No, but I mean, I do think we need to get into that a little bit deeper. But before we get off the topic of my dad, if you are a medical professional, if you're a doctor, a surgeon, nurse, tech, doesn't matter. I mean, if you're in the medical field, honestly, just thank you guys. It's a selfless thing to do that. I mean, I'm sure money is decent. I mean, everybody works for money, but the people go out of their way just to take care of other people, and a lot of the jobs are not the most desirable things that you have to do. But I mean, they took great care of my dad. So from the bottom of my heart, the bottom of my family's heart, big thank you goes out to you guys. Keep doing the Lord's work on that. That's awesome. Because now my dad's home, and we actually have answers as to the issues that we've had over the last month, that several of the yards just sent him home pretending like it was no big deal.
Yeah.
But now he's on the road to recovery, and hopefully he's going to extend my dad's life a little bit longer, which is what we want, obviously. Because you're like a son to my dad, so you know him pretty well. And
I guess.
we don't. Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. But I mean, we've got an interesting show. A couple days ago, a couple of our guys from Next Gen, we were able to get out on Halloween and do a pretty fun investigation at a location in Hopkinsville, Kentucky called the Night House. This house was built in 1815, and it has a great selection of claims, pretty much anything you can think of when it comes to the paranormal.
It was built around the Revolutionary War time, I think, right?
Yeah, if you ask Jimmy, because I don't know what was going on. If you ask Jimmy several times during investigating, and I didn't know this because I wasn't investigating with Jimmy that night. I was with Adam. He kept referring to the Revolutionary War as it was the Civil War. So in his mind, the Revolutionary War took place and ended in the year 1812. So he was able to mistake three different wars: Revolutionary War, Civil War, and the War of 1812.
All in one statement.
Go. Maybe in post, because I didn't know he did this until I was going back and I was listening to the recording while he and Adam were out investigating, and I was listening to I'm looking for EVPs. I'm looking for anything just out of the ordinary. Yeah. I wasn't expecting an out of the ordinary incorrect fact like that. And so I stopped and I saved it because I was like, this is either blackmail or something just to make fun of Jimmy about.
Most definitely going to be making fun of him for a while.
Oh, for sure. And so they come back in after their session. And I was like, hey, I need you guys to listen to something. I want your opinion on it. And I just played it for him, and Adam started cracking up. I think Jimmy realized pretty quickly, like, that's not right. But yeah, so that did take place. Another funny story, and then I'll start talking about the actual claims of the night and things that have happened to us. It was Halloween night, so I was just like, I'm gonna tell Owen that we're all gonna investigate, we're all gonna dress up, and just do that. So Adam and I get there first. We're doing the tour. We're still waiting on Jimmy and Owen to come because they were out trick-or-treating. Jimmy with his son and Owen with his niece and nephew. And we're out doing the tour. I see Owen pull up, not thinking anything about the costume and the prank that I was getting ready to pull on him. And he just comes strolling in head to toe in full, like, astronaut gear. And I just looked at it because I forgot that I told him that we were dressing up. And then here the rest of us are in plain clothes. And here comes Owen getting ready to go walk on the moon. That's foreshadowing for later. And so we're just laughing, and like the owners are laughing because they realized what the issue, like, not the issue, but the prank was. He quickly changed out of that astronaut gear after the tour. He did the whole tour in the astronaut gear. But no, it was a fun night. We had obviously those two things that happened with Jimmy not knowing history. And then Owen decided he was going to come dressed up as an astronaut. But the night started off pretty pretty quickly. I don't know if I told you this when we talked on the phone for about 2.5 hours earlier today. We're giving the tour. We stop at Huck's, a gas station, and Adam gets a fountain soda. We're giving the tour. Adam leaves the fountain soda in the kitchen, which is like our base center.
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing the tour, and we come back, and Adam's looking for his drink. He can't find it. We're looking everywhere. I go top to bottom of the house, and it's a six-story, six-floor home, but not like completely. It's a weird layout of the place. I can't find this fountain drink anywhere. So the owner's husband goes into the office that we don't have access to. Neither one of them even went in there from the time that we got there. And I hear him laugh, and he comes walking out holding the Huck's cup. Somehow, this cup went from the kitchen where we were at 2 rooms over when all 4 of the people that were in the home were all together. So no one could just sneak off and put it in there.
Nobody could have came in at any time.
No, nobody came in. It was just us 4. Because we would have heard the door open. Because, I mean, it's from pretty much everywhere we went, you could still have a pretty good line of sight to the front door.
Yeah.
Whether it's like directly line of sight from inside or from a window looking out, you can see the pathway walking up.
Yeah.
But all I could think about was just this cup just lifting up. Here, I've got a body armor right here. Just lifting up, pretend I'm not here. If I had a green screen, we would do this. And just floating. Just floating. Like, I wish they would have had a camera in either of those rooms so we could see just how it got from point A to point B.
But it probably wouldn't have happened if there was a camera.
Oh no, if there was a camera, it definitely wouldn't happen, because the whole no camera great experience thing happened again soon after that. So we're done with the tour. Jimmy and Owen are finally there. The owners are in the office. And Jimmy and Owen, we sent them out because Owen had to leave early. He had drill the next morning, so he had to get out of there early so he can get some sleep before going to drill. And Adam and I are staying in base. There's really nothing going on, so we're just kind of playing on our phones, really. I'm waiting on them to radio back some of the data that they've collected, because we're more of a scientific-based team when it comes to our investigative approach. Not like 90% of the YouTubers out there, which some of them are entertaining, some of them aren't, but we really love hardcore data as opposed to just spooks and thrills and screams and all that. And I'm getting ready. They asked about a claim that took place in the basement, and I forgot to show them exactly where it was because neither one of them were on the tour during that section.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, crap, I better get up and go show them this shadow claim where people have seen the shadow so they can try to debunk it, disprove it, or, anything like that. And so I get up, I go to open the door, and I can only get it open about 6 inches. I look down, there's like an old-timey, Revolutionary War period, baby bassinet that had been pushed in front of the door. Well, people would say, oh, well, it was already there. No, bitch, how do we shut the door if it's already there? And
remind you, the door actually opens inwards this entire time.
Oh, yes. No, it opens outwards. Thank you very much. But because I just opened it and I was dumbfounded for a second. I was like, why can I not get this open? Because I remember the bassinet being there.
Yeah.
Because it's like blocking off. There's like another room or like a closet or something that's blocked off by a curtain. And I opened it up. Nobody was in there, so nobody was playing a prank on us. I love Jimmy and Owen, but they're not going to pull that off. Like, they're not going to just push it over there without one of us hearing it.
Yeah.
Because, the sound echoes pretty well through there. It doesn't travel from outside as much as most places do, which is a good thing when it comes to investigating. Yeah. But inside, you hear everything.
Nice.
And so I know it wasn't one of them. And I remember, even when I radioed to Jimmy, because he was trying to get me to do something, I'm like, hang on a second, we're trapped in command. And he's like, wait, what? So I mean, that was a pretty cool experience that had happened for us. The rest of the night, there really wasn't too much going on. There was like a few little sounds here and there,
Yeah.
but it wasn't a crazy night like we've had some nights. We did have a pretty interesting REM pod experience in the parlor, which is where kind of like the hub of the activity is. Because in there, I mean, chairs move on their own, piano plays by itself, doors open and close by themselves. People have seen apparitions in there. None of that happened to us, just for the record. I thought maybe the chair had moved. And then I asked Jimmy, he was like, well, I was like, did anybody sit in that chair? And he's like, yeah, Owen sat in it. I was like, well, shit. Because before they started, the owner lined both the chairs up on like a particular crack in the wood, just so we would have like a base as to where it starts. So if it moves, we would know.
Yeah.
We didn't account for the fact someone would sit in the chair that moves by itself.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was a bit disappointing. I did have a really interesting thing, but I'll get on that in a second. But we were in the parlor and they said music triggers a lot of the activity. And so I was thinking, okay, what worked for me in the past? At Octagon Hall in Franklin, I've used the song Bonnie Blue Flag, which is a Confederate battle hymn or something like that. I don't know what exact word you would call it. But I played it, and we were getting some pretty interesting REM pod hits, and it was staying fairly steady.
Nice.
In conjunction with the cat ball. I mean, say what you want about cat balls or REM pods or whatever. The fact they were going off at the same time, nobody was moving. There was no vibration setting either of them off. Nothing around the REM pod to make it go off like that. So that was pretty cool. But the funny thing, we were doing in Estes session in the master bedroom, Owen and myself. I was cold. All right. It was a cold night. Because we're getting into the fall season here. Chilly. So I grabbed a big thick blanket and I put it over me and I'm just sitting in my chair wrapped up good and tight. Owen has a blindfold on, the headphones on, spirit box rolling. I'm asking questions. And this thing, it's talking mad shit to me. All right. Like this whole time, it's just talking mad shit. I say, yeah, Owen was talking mad shit, but he was just relaying the messages he was hearing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he goes, the genitalia, put it in my hands. Wait, what?
Well, hold on.
I was like, listen, I'm not trying to flirt with a ghost here. Like, let's save that for Valentine's Day, Mr. Zach Bagans. But I mean, it was a good time. It was definitely a place, if you have not investigated the Night House, 100% recommend it. The owners are super chill. You get a pretty decent amount of freedom when you're in there. There's a lot of history that dates back to the Revolutionary War, which I joke about it. It does technically date back to the Revolutionary War. There are no complete records of who built the home because that far they didn't issue a deed when the home was built. They issued it when it was sold just to have some sort of record.
Yeah, it was more like a sale back then, kind of.
Yeah, but they think there was a Revolutionary War hero. I can't remember his first name. Last name is Campbell, though. They think he was the one that built the home. Because, I mean, 1815, it's only about 40 years removed from the end of the Revolutionary War, unlike what Jimmy believes. Jimmy believes the Revolutionary War took place over a period of 40 years, which that's a really long fight for independence, so we deserved it in that case. But, I mean, it does date back plenty of history, fairly reasonable in terms of budget when it comes to paying for the investigation. That's one of the big things now is everywhere is expensive.
Yeah.
So when you can find a location that is reasonably priced, great activity, great people, you got to jump on it.
Yeah.
And they've got a podcast and everything. So good people. I'm looking forward to hopefully going back there one day. And then hopefully with you, if you ever come in and we're able to get it worked out.
Yeah, I'm down to try that. It sounds like a cool place.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Is that one of the places, though, that we talked about trying to get into at one time? Or was that another one? Because it's down on the square, right?
It's close to the square in Hopkinsville. We did go down on the square though, because there's a great burger joint down there, so we had to go check it out. Say check it out as if we've never had it. I go all the time just for those cheeseburgers.
Never heard of it.
It's a place called Farrell's. If you're local to Hopkinsville, go. If you're not, I don't care. Go anyway.
It's a world-renowned place.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's really good.
President was it Bush Senior?
I know Bush Jr. has been there. I don't know if any other presidents have been there, but Bush Jr. did go back when he was in office years ago.
Yeah.
But before, so Halloween took place, what, Friday night?
Yeah.
Thursday night, something else happened to break. There was an episode, and this is where we're actually going to talk about something related to the paranormal that isn't just a location that I went to. So, on an episode of, I don't know if it was Keeping Up with Kardashians or one of their shows, Kim Kardashian, I mean, you may have heard of her a time or two, whether it was through a little home video she's made.
She's kind of famous, right?
Yeah. Or a TV show called Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Even her
Husband,
stepfather, ex-stepmother, whatever you want to call her now, Bruce/Caitlyn Jenner. You may have heard of them.
Better be politically correct on that one, bro.
Well, that's why I said slash. Whatever she wants to go by, she wants to go by. Listen, I'm all about it. 2025, be you. But no, she, I guess in a confessional or whatever, she admitted that she believed the moon landing was faked. Now, this is a hot button issue. So before we get started, Brandon, I know where you can go with it. We're going to set some ground rules here out of respect. We're not going to use things like the Challenger or the Columbia explosions, because now hold on. This is why I have to set these ground rules, because I don't trust you. If those things are not hoaxes, like some people have claimed,
like they're still running around NASA,
potentially. But if those things are not hoaxed, and if they actually did happen, we're going to avoid slandering the people who are on the ships
I wouldn't.
On the ships.
I would never slander them.
Just out of respect for them and their families, just in case.
Yeah.
That's really the only ground rule, though.
I'm not ever going to. I'm not. Yeah, no, I would never. But I do believe that they are still alive and they are still at NASA.
Well, I have seen. There was I don't know if it was somebody giving a presentation or what, but I just saw a picture. This is not the topic for the day, but I'm just throwing this out there because we're talking about it right now. I think it was from Challenger. There was like a side-by-side of each of the astronauts who were allegedly on the shuttle versus a side-by-side of photos of people who, different names, but look exactly like aged-up versions of those people.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a bit interested, but I didn't want to dig into it. And I definitely don't want to bring it up as these. If it did explode and they were on that ship, I don't want to slander them or say they're faking everything. That's the only ground rule, because I respect the dead.
Oh, it for sure blew up. Whether or not they were on there, that's another story.
That's a different story, but not one for us to answer. But no, so if you lived in a box in 1969, the year of our Lord, 1969.
Ooh.
In the at the height of this, what were you saying?
Best year for Woodstock.
Yes, because you definitely lived during that time, and you could.
I'm a time traveler. If you didn't know.
You need to go back in time. Thank you very much, so I can find a new co-host, someone who knows how to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Brad.
In 1969, in the height of the space race with the Soviet Union, allegedly, the United States was able to send a manned crew to the moon and land and do a spacewalk, the first ever spacewalk on the moon. Russia had beaten us to the moon before. They were the first to put up a satellite. They were the first to really send a manned astronaut up there to circle the moon. A manned shuttle up there to circle the moon.
But never set foot.
Never set foot. We were the first to do that. And we allegedly put down a flag and recorded these videos and took all these pictures and collected rocks. All of those things we'll get into later. But Kim Kardashian on the most recent episode of, I guess it's just the Kardashians. I'm not too big on the Kardashians. I don't necessarily keep up with them, you might say. But in this episode, Kardashian was on set with Sarah Paulson, who is another media personality, and a producer when she shared her belief that the moon landing was faked. The evidence that she cited was a common, long-debunked conspiracy theory, including the American flag appearing to wave in the wind despite no atmosphere on the moon, differences between the footprints in the photos and the shoes in the museums, which is another thing I want to bring up later, and a clip of Buzz Aldrin that was taken out of context where he supposedly slipped up and admitting it didn't happen. And that clip...
He's done that on multiple occasions, so...
Yeah, I mean, the man is, in his 90s now?
Something like that. I mean, he was recently with Trump, too, at a conference where Trump was talking about space.
I mean, possibly. I don't really keep up with Buzz Aldrin too well. The only Buzz astronaut I care about is Buzz Lightyear, which I'm pretty excited about Toy Story 5 coming out.
The greatest of all time. It's 5.
But that clip that she's referring to was a 2015 interview where Aldrin was discussing the use of animation in TV broadcasts, not denying the event itself. I can't really speak on the credence of that, but that's what she said. And then when she was asked about where she was going to... My microphone cord just fell. When Kim was asked about where she finds the claims or where people can go to find the facts, her literal words were, "Go to TikTok." If you watched our episode last week,
if it's not true, it can't be on the internet. So,
I mean, Wikipedia is made up of all kinds of lies, but yeah, that's where we're gonna go there.
No, if it's on the internet, it has to be true.
But so all of this, this whole topic, we just decided it today, and it was all because I'd seen a meme which I tried to find about this Kardashian situation, where she was doing her little moon landing was fake. It was on Twitter or whatever. And then somebody said, straight from the queen of fake herself. So I was like, that's pretty funny. And so I wanted to really talk about it because the moon landing is a big hot button conspiracy issue. There's a lot of people who admit that or claim that it happened. A lot of people who deny that it happened. And I've talked to several different people. I know you've got some pretty convincing arguments for it. But the director or acting director, I don't keep up with politics because, I mean, it's a bit of a shit show. But the acting director, Sean Duffy, actually responded to this episode. So I guess he's not super busy with his job that he can watch the Kardashians.
Well, yeah, whenever he's just got to, make sure the videos are faked, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, no big deal. He's doing the same thing that they did back in '69. But here is acting NASA director Sean Duffy's response. He says, "Yes, Kim Kardashian, we've been to the moon before 6 times. Not once, not twice, 6 times. And even better, NASA Artemis is going back under the leadership of POTUS. We won the last space race, and we will win this one too." And then he tags Hulu for some reason. And then if you're interested in how you curl hair, there you go.
Why did he tag Hulu? Is there the documentary or something on there?
Well, I guess Hulu is the streaming provider for the Kardashians, or it's just where he got that video clip from.
Okay, well, I mean that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean that's my only guess is that's why he tagged Hulu. I mean he did tag him, so we'll give him his flowers for that.
Yeah.
But I mean Artemis is a big thing, and that Artemis is something I'm excited for because maybe now we actually have the technology to land on the moon as opposed to 69, which we either did or did not land. But I'm pretty excited to see what Artemis happens because I think the exploration of space is really cool. And so that's why I really want the moon landing to have been real. But I have seen so many different pieces of evidence to suggest otherwise. And they're all compelling, they're all convincing. But the exploration of space is just a cool idea to me. Going to the moon and going to Mars and setting up all these space colonies and just getting off of this rock that we're on now. I can see you're wanting to say something.
Well, no, it's only because so like when I was a kid, there's only two. Well, I guess the true trilogy series movies, and then Starship Troopers, Star Wars, and Starship Troopers. There's the only
Hey,
reason.
hold on. Don't leave out Star Trek.
Anyway, no, I like Star Trek too. They're good, but those are the two that really made me want to go to space, especially Starship Troopers. I've watched it 1,000,000,000 times, and
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that movie. It's one of our favorite movies ever.
yeah, and just the thought of going to different planets like that. If there's bugs, whatever, I don't know, but that would be cool.
So before we start really hitting hard on this moon landing thing, if there are aliens out there, do you think they're bug aliens, or do you think they're all just humanoid?
That's it's a vague. This is going to be a vague answer, but no.
I mean,
I think what we think is aliens is coming from our own doings. And if you've never seen Journey to the Center of the Earth, Admiral Byrd is the one that all extends from. Read on that. That's all I'm going to say on that. But
so we're not referring to the Brendan Fraser Journey to the Center of the Earth?
I mean, that one's good too. The Will Ferrell one was good.
That was Land of the Lost.
Same thing. They're still going to the center of the earth.
Yeah, same thing. No big deal.
Also another. But yeah, no, that's good.
I think if there are aliens, I think there's a possibility that there are, because I mean, alien is a very vague description.
It's a broad spectrum
classification.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, alien could refer to if there's a life form like us on a different rock, or
just an organism.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like a caterpillar up on Mars, like their version of a caterpillar. That's technically considered an alien. And so, I mean, it's possible there is a planet of just bugs out there. I don't know what kind of like environment and atmosphere you need to sustain that life form. But I don't think they're like massive. Like you don't have like a brain bug where you stick your hand in there and blows up, and you can't just throw a grenade into the back like it was a manhole cover.
Well, per Starship Troopers, it has to be breathable like Earth. So
Yeah, because I mean, you never saw any of those.
It had a real atmosphere.
Soldiers?
So
Yeah, you never saw any of them wearing a mask. They didn't have to wear a spacesuit to go up there.
we should also included in this would be Halo, the movies or the series. That series is so good.
I know you and we used to talk about Halo all the time. I've still not seen season 2. When it came out, I don't know what was going on in my life when it came out. I have a pretty good idea what was going on, and there's a reason why I couldn't watch it.
Because season 3 is out now, I think, right?
I didn't even know they made a season 3 if they did.
Maybe it is season 2, because season 2 or whichever one just came out like a couple months ago.
Yeah, I think it was season 2. Yeah, and I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so I need to sit down one day and just marathon it, and that way we can actually talk about Halo. Because I mean, I think it's pretty cool, even though I've never played the game, so I'm not a great gamer.
It does. I mean, you don't have to play the games to understand it, because it kind of just gives its own explanation and stuff pretty good. So
yeah, we'll check it out. Check it out. So let's get back on the moon landing. So I want you to give me your take on the moon landing, and we'll just go from there.
Most definitely faked, especially at the time, because it was a race, to beat the Soviet Union and all that. So, and we had a lot of political reasons to fake it also. So I believe at the time it was faked. It was per a video I watched. Obviously, it's on the internet. It's got to be true. So,
no big deal.
A guy that worked allegedly at Area 51. He remembers this is all a deathbed confession, so who knows? But he speaks of how there's a lot of construction going on in one of the hangars. There's loads and loads of gravel and sand and stuff like that coming in. Production crews like crazy. So 100% faked at the time, and then there's no way we have 4K pictures back then like we see. But either way, I think at the time it was faked. Now, current times, yes, current times, still not real. We've never been to space. We've never gotten off this Earth or outside the atmosphere, technically, because it's just water above us.
Oh, so you're going like hard into there is no exploration that's been done in space to this point. Well, I will tell you.
Not really.
So I went to go visit my dad at their house before I came back here to get set up for the pod, and I was like, let me just ask my father. He didn't seem like he was under the influence of any pain medication. So we're gonna assume he had very sober thoughts. I asked him. I was like, Dad was 8 when the moon landing happened.
That's cool that he was old enough to remember that too, though. Like that's just the coolest thing.
Well, I mean, the moon. It's a different scenario, but the moon landing for his childhood had the same impact that September 11th had for our childhood.
Right.
It was just such a massive news story that took place that you remember where you were, you remember who you were watching it with, you remember your thoughts that you had as it was happening. That was the same thing for him, but with the moon landing in 1969. And so I asked Dad what he remembers about the moon landing and if he believes that the moon landing happened. And he said he was in class. They wheeled out a black and white TV because I mean 69. I think there was color TV
in
69, or it was close to color TV. I don't remember. I wasn't alive. I don't remember. Because when I was a kid, I thought back in that time everybody just was in black and white. I didn't know any better. I'm still an idiot though. And just to set the record straight, we're talking about this. We're not experts on this. If you want an expert's take on it, go watch Neil deGrasse Tyson YouTube video for Star Talk. We're just two idiots who are just fascinated by the topic and the idea of a potential conspiracy theory that takes place with the moon landing. So no, we're not experts. Don't watch us if you want to be enlightened. We're just two people talking about this because we think it's funny.
But please leave your comments too. Like I'm curious to what everybody's take is on it. Really. Yeah,
on the hotline 270-380-7990. Again, 270-380-7990. But no, Dad was recalling what he saw. So they wheeled out this black and white TV. They were able to watch the takeoff. He didn't specify watching the landing. But he did say like he remembers that happening. I guess they just had to go back to class or whatever. Back in whatever grade school he was in at the time. They moved quite a bit when he was a kid. And he's told me he's watched multiple rockets take off. He's like, it's got to go somewhere. So, I mean, take that for what you will. Dad believes it firmly happened. Mom was 3 years old when it happened. She believes it happened. I think I've told you I'm like agnostic when it comes to the moon landing. I want to believe it happened, but at the same time, there are a lot of things pointing to it not happening. Yeah. So, I mean, like, just to set the stage as to where you and I stand before we really get into this, you 100% believe it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
I want it to happen because it's a cool moment in time, and it, as someone who is a proud American, most of the time I'm a proud American. We like to disappoint me though. People in government and just in general, our people
like to disappoint
me. There's so many things that point out against it. One of which, and I'm coming from a photography background, like you mentioned, we didn't have 4K back then. Those images are very crisp, and it's hard to transmit photos like that from outer space back to the United States.
Yeah, we didn't really even have the solid technology either to go across like the next building over, technically, really, to transmit something like that. You know what I mean? So
No, I mean,
kinda
computers,
hard.
like, we walk around with computers in our pockets. I mean, hell, I have a computer right here on my wrist. Beside, like, it's a 1x1
Yeah.
computer right here on my wrist. Computers back then were like
the size of your
massive
room.
warehouses
Yeah.
of just storage banks and electricity and wires and all that. And so transmitting an image that's that clear back to Houston with video, and you see guys like doing their little weird moonwalk thing in slow-mo, and to record. So if it was slow-mo, so if you're, I'm getting ready to make a point for it being real and also make a point for it being fake. If they were to fake that's like slow-mo thing, that is, I'm going to exaggerate here, miles of film that you have to record, because you have to record at such a higher frame rate. So you're getting more frames per second than you would as like a normal speed. So like right now, I'm going at 30 frames per second. So take that and then just amplify it, because I'm not going in slow-mo.
Yeah.
And that's, like Mike said, miles of film that you have to store that data on. But here's the thing. We don't have the raw footage anymore. Like, they cannot find that raw footage anywhere of the landing. You only see the broadcast footage. And their reasoning is that that footage is it's so well preserved. What do we need the raw footage for? I don't know. History, maybe?
Proof.
Like, why is my closet door open?
Come on, Bear, open it again.
Let's not open it. But I mean, there's so many things. Plus, and again, coming from a photography background, to have that type of thing, you need the proper lighting, you need the proper technology. But the thing is, in the atmosphere, like that atmosphere, there is no atmosphere. So you're not really going to have the best shadows. And like I guess you can see like the shadows don't match up and all that with.
Yeah, there's like multiple shadows, like different angles of the shadows, which everybody thinks is just multiple positions of lighting too. So, which is kind of weird. I mean, but
and like they were saying that if it is fake, okay. One of the common theories is that Stanley Kubrick. How do you say his last name?
Yes.
You know who I'm talking. The man who is responsible for the film The Shining, and all that great stuff. They think that.
And that movie that he came out with, what was it called?
2001: Space Odyssey.
Yeah, and how crystal clear and perfect that video was, even for that time.
Was that Kubrick? Whatever his name is.
Space.
I don't think I realized that. But I mean, they apparently Kubrick. We're just going to call him Stanley. My friend Stanley. Stanley was apparently involved with all these cults and all that, and to help things, he helped the government to fake the moon landing to give us the upper hand in the space race. So there's a theory that either it was filmed at Area 51 or it was filmed high up in the Hollywood Hills, just out of sight from the everyday people, and that he brought in this film crew and all that. So, I mean, that could explain why the footage looks so good, because you're talking at probably the premier director of the time.
Yeah, probably.
And so, I mean, that could also be the case. I don't know if it's true or not, but.
And you brought up another good point too. Sorry, it's kind of going back a bit.
No, you're good.
To the slow-mo and all that. So away from that, if you look at Bruce Lee's videos, like in the 1960s when they were filming some of his, we didn't have the technology of cameras to be able to slow down or speed up or whatever, the film or whatever, to adjust that. He used to be like move so fast that the camera couldn't even keep up with his movements. So they told him he had to slow down. So all of his moves that he did in a lot of those movies were exaggerated because of that fact.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. I never knew that.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'll have to go back and watch one of those. I don't watch a lot of kung fu, Um, I watched Kung Fu. Was it Kung Fu Hustle? You know that movie?
I love that movie.
It's
Such a good one.
And then was it? There's Kung Pao or something like that.
Yeah, I think that one was like more of a parody and a lot. Well, I don't know because Kung Fu Hustle is a lot of the.
Hold on, which one? I need to figure. I don't want to go without getting the
Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle was the one that the lip sequence was off, the talking and stuff.
So it wasn't Kung Fu Hustle. I mean, well, maybe it was Kung Fu Hustle.
And she turns, and then he turns into like some big frog or something, or not really a frog, but he does a frog move, and then it stops.
There's one movie where where there's a woman with 3 breasts, and he's also fighting a cow, and I can't remember the name. Kung.
I know what you're
I keep
talking
typing
about.
long. Kung Pao chicken. Kung Pao Enter the Fist. Is that it? Yeah. Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
Yeah, that was
So if you haven't
making
seen,
fun of Enter the Dragon and all that. So
yeah, because it's got what's his name? Cannot follow the actor.
that one's hilarious.
I guess
All
I
of
just
those back
don't
in the
want
day
to
were
do his
funny.
name. But anyway, that movie, I love that movie. It's funny. I don't know how we got off the topic of
I was just
Karate.
talking about camera.
Talking about Cameron.
Cameras for Bruce. That's how we got to there.
I am not Kung Pao Enter the Fist or something, whatever it is. But I mean, that's one of the theories that people have. Another claim that is common among deniers. That's what we're going to call them. We're going to call them deniers. The moon landing deniers is like Kim said, because she's the expert here. That's why we're talking about this. Is that the flag waves in the wind? I mean, if there is no gravity, there is no wind. How is the flag flying? And also, if we place the flag there, barring some comet or piece of debris coming and knocking the flag over, that flag should still be there. But we have never seen from any of the satellites or rovers, anything like that, we've never seen a modern day image of that flag on the moon. If we had, we'd be able to see it and see if maybe the flag is still holding in place.
I think they tried to doctor one a few years ago with it. I think, if I remember, I really don't remember.
I don't know.
But yeah, like if we've been back so many times too, I would think that would be a base like coordinates to try to land at every time.
Yeah, I mean, you would think you would remember where you landed the first time you went,
and then
that way you could go back.
And then another thing, there was a rock with the letter C carved into it.
I did hear about that because what was it? Deniers are saying that was in there because it was a studio prop or whatever. Somebody was saying that in film, you do have these weird fragments of film that have misprints and stuff like that because all you're doing is just burning the image onto that film.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's like there's some sort of double exposure or what it is. That is something. I mean, it's a pretty cool thing. I can see the side of the deniers, and I can also see the side of the people who believe that the moon landing was real.
Yeah.
I see both of it. But the thing with the flag, people have refuted this by saying that the flag was designed with a horizontal rod so that it stays extended. Maybe, I don't know. I've never been in like zero gravity, so I don't know how the physics of things work. Again, I'm a photographer. I'm not a physicist. I don't know anything about this. I know that when the wind blows really hard, it gets on my nerves and hair goes up. Not my hair, clearly, but people's hair goes all over the place. And
your hair goes crazy.
And they also refuted this by saying that movement only occurs when astronauts are twisting it or planning it, causing brief vibrations in a vacuum. To be honest, I read this, I have no clue what it means. I don't know what they're telling me. So,
like I understand.
that's one thing.
I get that, but also if you're in a vacuum, there would be no vibration like that. It wouldn't be able to travel. I wouldn't think, but whatever.
I don't know, man. I mean, the flag is one thing. What's another claim? Because I know you're on the side of the deniers, clearly, and I'm like right here in the middle. What's another reason that you believe the moon landing was faked?
So it's what so oh yeah, I mean you got the shoe print, which it doesn't match at all, but you also have a lot of reflective photos in the helmets too. And it shows one with Neil Armstrong that supposedly took the picture of what's his face. I think of Buzz. Actually, I think he was taking a picture of him, or vice versa. But neither
Well, I
one
know
of them are holding a
there
camera.
was one astronaut who had to stay in the shuttle, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being that astronaut?
Cool guys.
So, okay, let's take off our hoax mindset here. All right, let's put on our we believe in all this crazy shit goggles. Could you imagine going that entire ride up, doing all this years and years and years of training to be one of the first men to step foot on the moon, and they're like, "Sorry, bitch, you got to stay in the shuttle."
Cool guys, you guys go on.
Could you I just imagine him just sitting out the window, like he's
just
that
sitting
kid
there.
who's, or like he's that kid on like a long car ride where he's got his little emo music in with his head pressed against the glass that's got rain dripping down on the side of it.
Yeah.
It's real sad. He is the forgotten astronaut in all of this.
I'm just gonna say the ship or whatever can just float away because I'm getting off. Just saying, we're stranded now, guys.
Listen, I think I would be so petty, and I would have just been pissed. I would have just took off the shuttle and just left without him.
Enjoy.
That's right. You wanted so bad to be on the moon. You're stuck here now. Figure it out.
Be like the Umbrella Academy where the Otis, no, was it number one? I think he was left on the moon.
Yeah, I think
years.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that Luther?
Mm-hmm.
The big monkey arm jack guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a good
So
show.
you were talking about the reflections in the
Their helmets. Yeah.
Where were you going with that? Because I cut you off just to go on a tangent about this
No, you're good.
left alone
No.
astronaut here.
So there's another thing that they say. So you don't see, whichever one was taking the picture, you don't see a camera in Neil's hand. I think he was the one. There is no camera. So technically, if they're the only two there who actually took the picture, that was just kind of like their biggest thing on that one. Which is interesting because you can zoom in and look at it and all that.
Let
And
me
then
see. I want to see if I can find that photo you're talking about. So, keep talking while I'm looking for this because I'm going to be looking over here for right now.
So there's another one too. So whenever Stanley made The Shining, there was actually a bunch of references to it. Like Danny was wearing the sweater, the Apollo 11 or Apollo 11 was printed on his sweater.
Yeah, I did hear about that. I did hear that because that was in The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I was too much of a bitch to watch The Shining, so I've never seen The Shining. People don't come at me. I'm being fully transparent about this.
And then here's the other big one. So all the photos, videos, whatever, you don't see stars.
I did. Well, you say that, and I can't tell if this photo is real or not, but I'm looking at a photo that shows stars.
It might have been the original ones that I was looking
I do
at.
think this is a doctored one.
Yeah, there was no stars. It was just a blank black space, which if we can see stars from Earth, you should be able to see that. But
I think.
if it's a void, dark
this
space
maybe.
too, who knows?
Yeah. I think I may have found the image you're referring to. Tell me if I'm wrong once I get it up here. Because I'm working on this here. This is producing on the fly for sure. I have to do this way so I can see the actual screen, what I'm looking for. There we go.
And you get you more monitors.
Yeah, is this the image you were referring to?
Yeah, that's one of them. But there's another one. You might be able to zoom in.
Is it gonna let me zoom in here?
Probably not.
No, it's not. But
Another one that's a little bit closer up though. But anyway.
Yeah, I enlarged this one on my screen. So we're gonna give all of you guys the credit, and you're gonna do your own research and do your own homework. Go and look at this image yourself and decide for yourself. So I'm looking. So from right here, I see what looks to be a reflection of the flag. So he's probably standing behind the flag on this image. Which,
he looks
is.
like he's in air too. He's levitating.
Yeah, or he's just like in a small little crater there. But I don't see another astronaut. So who's taking the image here?
Right. In that picture, you should be able to see whoever is taking that picture.
Oh, but see, so I've got it pulled up. I do see a horizontal rod on
top.
But if there's no, on top. But if there is no wind or anything in space, how is it unfurled like that? Like, you would think they would straighten it out to make it look pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I 100% believe there is a rod on top to keep it stuck out. But I think they were referring to it looked like it was like framed out. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, who knows? And there was a claim. Oh, is this? Here's an image of the astronauts, but I don't know. Listen, you could put all three of them in front of me and tell me to pick out the astronauts who were in the Apollo 11, and I would be confused because I don't see Tom Hanks. I don't see anybody that I recognize. So I wouldn't know which one was which. I wouldn't know who's Neil. I wouldn't know who Buzz, and I wouldn't know who the other guy is.
What was the one? Space Cowboy? Was it that one where they go out and destroy? No, they have to destroy an asteroid. Armageddon. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, because I mean maybe Space Cowboy. Because I think there were two movies that were released at relatively the same time that had basically the same plot.
Yeah, I think
one just had Aerosmith as the title song and Ben Affleck looking real like lover boyish.
Yeah.
But I mean, so yeah, I see your point on the reflection thing, because I did not see a reflection of anybody taking that photo. So I don't know how that photo was taken at all. And that no stars in the sky. There were no stars in that. I mean, let's pull it back up one more time. Oh shit, I just removed it. Here we go. Yeah. There are no stars up there. It's just solid black. I don't know if this image was doctored at all. I got it off of a government site, so it shouldn't be doctored, but maybe that's why it is doctored.
Yeah, I mean,
but if they're trying to do a hoax, you put some stars in the sky there.
Yeah, I mean, the shadows kind of fit depending on which side. But, like you're in the void of space. There's, that super black color paint that they have that absorbs light.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be something like that. Maybe that's why we don't see stars. I don't know. I'm trying to be on both sides here. But if we can see it from Earth, we should be able to see it from there too.
Let me see if I can find like a recent image that was taken in outer space, from like the International Space Station. And let's see, like, maybe if there's any way we can see stars there. Is light pollution coming into play here?
So another thing that's really weird too
is what?
I lost my. I was losing my train of thought. I was trying to like get it back.
You're holding me hostage here. I'm in deep suspense. So, okay. I mean, I'm looking at several different images that appear to have been taken from the International Space Station. Okay, so here's one. We'll do this one.
What is in the pool at NASA.
It was all done in the pool?
Yeah, NASA has a big pool, and they have an international, which they claim is testing and getting them ready for space. But it's all filmed in the pool.
All right, I'm going to try and get this image up here. So this is one I actually have a tattoo. We're going to pull it up right now. All right, so great, high quality photo. Fantastic. Well, on mine it looks high quality here. But so this was a photo taken from the International Space Station back a few years ago about Hurricane Ian. So what you're seeing right here is Hurricane Ian right here in the center. I don't know if you even see my mouse here or not. I doubt it.
No, but yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right here in the center is Hurricane Ian. So I was in Orlando when Hurricane Ian made landfall. So I was looking at it from the ground. They're looking at it from the sky. But in
How
this
cool.
image, in even the high res image, I don't see stars, and I
How
don't know.
cool
I
would
don't
it-
know the science behind it.
Yeah, but I mean, how cool too would it be to be in the eye of that, like flying around where it's like calm, but you're just flying around in like the B-52s.
Dude, this isn't about the moon landing. Have you seen the photos from Hurricane Hunter, um, of the eye of Hurricane Melissa?
The most recent one, right?
Yeah, this is one that just
Yeah.
took place a couple days ago.
Yeah, I've seen some of them. I didn't dig into it though.
Well, again, producing on the fly here because this is interesting. And like my pastor at church actually brought this hurricane up the other day because it was I haven't seen it, but he had mentioned like what's interesting is that you see birds in the eye of the hurricane. They're just flying at the same pace as the hurricane, just to stay out of the mess.
Yeah.
Let's see, where is a good image of this? Because it's a very cool shot from inside this hurricane, and there will be people who deny this also, I'm sure.
I'm sure, but
yeah.
I mean, that's cool though to be. That'd be like the ultimate storm chaser for me to be able to do.
I mean, I'm still cool with just doing tornadoes, honestly.
I mean, I am too, but it'd be cool to fly up and get in the middle of that.
All right, so well, I was gonna pull it up, but it's the wrong file type. But anyway, go type in Hurricane Hunters, Hurricane Melissa. You'll be able to see the image yourself. It's really cool. You see the eye of the hurricane from inside, and I think that storm was so like intense that the Hurricane Hunter even actually had to get out of that storm. Otherwise, they were gonna risk death on their end. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
That's cool.
But so we've talked about a few different things to dispute the moon landing as a hoax. Is there anything that you've seen or read or heard that actually supports the claim of the moon landing being real?
Not that I can really think of.
So
I mean, NASA's another government-funded thing, right? So entity. So, and it's kind of actually became a large entity, just like some other things. And I mean,
I've got a large entity for you.
his name's Bubba. But
No, I mean, so for me, there's really not. Listen, I'm an optimist about 98.3% things in my life, and I love the idea of space exploration and all that.
It's cool. Like, I would really wish it was real.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. And so, like, some of the things that I've seen that actually support that is, of course, I haven't seen this data. If this is real and these things are out there, this thing has happened, cool. I mean, if we brought back moons, if we brought back a whole moon, if we brought back moon rocks,
Which
awesome.
is
I mean, that's
petrified wood. That's
Yeah.
been tested.
You're petrified wood. But I mean, multiple countries were tracking the telemetry of the Apollo 11 as it was going up. And so, I mean, if that is true, you could put those numbers in front of my face and I'd have no idea what the heck I'm looking at. They're just numbers to me. I don't know if you do this. I'm always really fascinated by the SpaceX launches. SpaceX, if you live under a rock, founded by Elon Musk, the guy who founded PayPal and Tesla.
And SpaceX.
Obviously SpaceX too.
He's trying to move to Texas, I think. He's trying to move SpaceX there. I just read too that
is he moving to Texas or is it Alabama?
No. It was Texas. He just settled
Or is NASA like they're putting stuff in NASA for Rocket City?
I don't know. I know Elon is currently building in Texas right now. He just settled a $6 billion lawsuit to I don't even remember now, but I just thought it was funny because he had a lot of construction equipment, stuff like that on there. like on their site. So he had to pay out a lot of money to take care of that. But
I know they do have a launch site in Texas though, like one in California, Texas, and like they use NASA's in.
Well, I think he's getting rid of the one in California, but I have seen 2 of the rockets from California from here launching, which has been kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember. So I'll get back on this in a second. I remember I was a kid. I think it may have been our first family trip to Florida because I remember my grandmothers being with me, and it was the only time they ever went with us to Florida. So I was like maybe 6. I remember we were like rushing back to the motel that night.
Rushing.
Yeah, we were rushing. Rushing back to the motel that night just because Dad knew that there was a launch happening. So that was like the first and only launch I'd ever seen in person, and it was coming up over the top of my motel.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I would like to see more, but I'm very fascinated by watching these launches. You can watch all like the live streams on YouTube and stuff. And so I watch them every time, and even if I don't get to watch it live, I'll go back and I'll watch the replay of it. And it's like hours that you're sitting there waiting. From the go, no go when it comes to weather and the launch window, preparing the rocket. They're kind of like talking you through all these different systems and things in place that they have to get a very large rocket to go like that.
Has to be perfect conditions.
Yeah. And like I hear them mention all of these different terms and all that. I have no clue what the hell I'm listening to. I'm just thinking, ooh, cool. Make these things go boom and make that thing go up.
Yeah.
But I mean, like they say that all of that data that the USSR or Soviet Union or modern day Russia, Australia and Spain that all tracked these emission signals from the Apollo missions, that independent stations could triangulate the signals, confirming that the spacecraft was traveling to and orbiting the moon, and that NASA, if you trust NASA, has thousands of hours of recorded footage, telemetry, voice, and the video data, all aligning perfectly with the flight dynamics.
Yeah.
The thing is, we have that, but we don't have the raw footage of the landing.
But you never really truly either see the rocket ever go through the atmosphere. Like you see it go up and then hit a point where it's just like free, like standing still, basically.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that's going up and hitting the dome or the whatever the word I'm looking for is, and it like goes and hits that and then just starts kind of curving. That's what people believe, but I don't know. I mean, it is interesting.
The curvature is caused by gravity.
Oh no, I know, but it's also weird though. Is it goes straight up? But yeah, but they're saying it hits and smacks the firmament, and then it starts curving. Is what they're saying. And then also that the Bermuda Triangle is actually the graveyard for all these space capsules and everything. That's why you're really not allowed to go there. That's why there's storms. You can't go. Things get lost.
So, in one statement that you just made, we've thrown out the conspiracy of 1, the moon landing, 2, the dome that apparently sits over the top of us because flat Earth. So that's 2 in 1 right there. The Bermuda Triangle.
I'll throw another one, the ice wall.
Where was the ice wall in all this? We're just listing off conspiracies now.
Yeah, I'll just start.
COVID.
No, but like I don't know. It is interesting because a lot of people do think that's what that freestanding of the video that we get to see is just it going across the firmament like this and then actually ending up wherever. But
I mean, I don't know. You can spend hours and hours going through all these different claims and all these different facts to support the moon landing and claims to support the denial of the moon landing and still never reach a conclusion. And I personally don't think we're ever going to know if in 1969 if we ever actually landed on the moon.
We wasn't Neil Armstrong or Buzz.
What was that? What'd you say?
So we wasn't Neil Armstrong or Buzz, so we wasn't on there. Nobody actually
We
knows.
weren't Neil or Buzz?
Yeah.
Just Grammar
Um,
Nazi. That's like my second Nazi reference in 3 weeks. You know, I mean, we're never going to know for sure
What about
if we
Nazis?
landed. What is that?
So what about Nazis?
I'm not going to do it again. We'll never know for sure. But it is always fun to talk about it and speculate. So for me, I'm going to go into the rest of my life, hopefully a long life, not knowing if we landed until hopefully that we're able to go back to the moon or go to the moon for the first time, depending on where you stand in this debate. Yeah, I know you're going to say it's not true, whatever.
But it's still all a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Either way you look
good.
at it, either side. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all opinion.
Plus, at the end of the day, if we went to the moon or not,
Doesn't.
it does not affect your day-to-day life whatsoever.
No, that's why I just enjoy talking about it because it's fun. And then also, some people like to get very defensive, and then you just ruined yourself with me because I'm gonna keep it going. I'm gonna keep poking until you're very annoyed or whatever. But
See, I can't do that because if I was a firm believer that we landed, because again, to reiterate, I am agnostic when it comes to the moon landing. I just don't know. But if I was a firm believer, and you and I, we've had many back and forth, mildly heated discussions about several different topics, some of which are conspiracies, that, you know, we would go 4 hours talking about this. Luckily, that's not going to be the case because I have to edit these things, and I don't want to edit that many hours of footage.
Thing for me is it's fun to talk about, and then I do like to poke the bear. So, but one more topic I have for space. Do you remember? Do you remember 2011 when was it NASA was sending out applications to build on Mars?
No, I was focused on graduating high school,
Or
which you should have been too because you graduated the same year.
Okay, maybe it was 2013, something like that. But anyway.
That was the worst year for me. I didn't know what the hell I was doing in 2013.
I just remember like reading about it, but they're only wanting obviously like MIT students, like engineer, top, physicists and stuff like that. But they're wanting to. Was it 2025? I think was the year they were going to set launch for colonizing on Mars, but it was just going to be a one-way trip.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it was interesting. Remember the applications a few years ago. I remember seeing a few people that were selected, which were all like a wave above my head of things I don't know, but I don't top level engineers, which I remember that, and I think it was like 2018. I want to say they started kind of doing videos for, but they were supposed to set launch this year, and it never has happened. A couple of years ago, I remember they saying it got pushed back to like 2027 or 2030.
Yeah. We're kind of in that boat now. I know SpaceX and the Starship. Well, you got very close to the camera just then. SpaceX, they're working on Starship now to ultimately launch supplies and everything to build Starbase, which is a moon city.
Mm-hmm. So that way we can jump to Mars, I think, right?
Yeah. And I think that's why there's such a big push in commercial space flight to get your everyday citizen. Well, I say everyday common citizen to get your rich people up there.
Yeah.
Because there ain't no way that I'm going to be able to afford it, especially on Jeff Bezos' penis-shaped rocket.
Austin
Blue
Powers.
Horizon or Blue Origin. That's the name of it. Austin. Did you say Austin Powers?
No, all I think of is Austin Powers. Whatever his ship was, looks like big melons. It was funny. Anyway,
I love that. Might have to watch that now once I get off here.
Yeah.
But no, so again, we're just two idiots talking about this because it's fascinating to us. It's fun for us. We love it. We're going to talk about more conspiracies moving forward, whether it's flat Earth or the dome, or I think I'm going to steer clear of COVID. I know I brought up COVID earlier, just because I know you believe COVID is a conspiracy. We're not going to get on it, so don't even start.
No, I was going to say, we won't go into that one. That one's still a little too touchy for people. So,
and again, that's something. If it's real, people lost their lives because of it. So I'm going to avoid that.
Yeah.
But we love this. It's fascinating for us. But if you're looking for education, don't come to us. I'll tell you that for years. I can educate you on things that involve photography. I can educate you on things that involve the paranormal. I can educate you on, Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park. I was talking about dinosaurs earlier, actually.
Yeah, dinosaurs aren't real. I told you I was going to bring it up.
You mother.
Anyway.
But I want to hear your opinions, and I know Brandon wants to too. We want to see how many people we have who believe and deny. So if you have an opinion on the moon landing, I don't need a big long explanation, because I'm going to be honest with you. If you send me a big long explanation, I'm not reading it.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that. So just say, I believe in the moon landing. I don't believe in the moon landing. Go ahead and send that over to the hotline at 270-380-7990. You can comment on Facebook, because I'm going to put a post out about it. I'm going to get better about marketing the show and marketing recent episodes when they come out, now that hopefully life is going to return to normal with my father and all the health things. Or you can comment on the YouTube video when this goes out. Just let us know if you believe or don't believe. No one's going to judge you. We don't care that much, to be honest with you. I'm going to wake up tomorrow just the same, whether I believe it or not, whether we go to the moon or not. Now,
Also,
if I wake up on the moon, that's a different story.
That'd be cool, though.
You're getting ready to bring another point. What is it?
Well, no, I was just going to say, if there's another conspiracy that you wanted us to discuss, drop that too. That'd be cool.
Yeah, please do.
I have a vast knowledge of conspiracy opinions, so it'd be fun to talk about.
And for me, you and I have talked about, I don't subscribe to many conspiracies. There's just not that much out there that makes me really want to dig too deep into it. And I don't know if it's, maybe I just don't want to know because I'm afraid of how my viewpoint on reality will be skewed if I were to dig too deep into it. Because, I live a pretty comfortable life right now. I don't want to disrupt that. I am interested in hearing more from you guys about it.
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, I have dug into a lot of different things. Just like the Matrix, what people believe on that. It really started making me question about...
Like the movie The Matrix?
No, just that we live in a Matrix. But that's a great movie. Except for the new one. That one sucked. That was stupid.
I think I watched it one time and I'll never watch it again. And I love that. Like Keanu Reeves... Homie, you can do real wrong, but that movie should never have been made.
Yeah. But I do have to say it made me question reality. So I don't suggest digging into a lot of different things. It's made me question a lot of things and even my own existence. So it was very annoying. I took a huge step back for a long time. It's nice to have and it's nice to have an open mind about things, but it really will start getting to you after a while.
Yeah, for sure. But listen, I've had a great time talking about this. We didn't get into a fight over this, which is cool.
Dang it.
I'd like to keep my buddy for as long as I can. But no, so again, let us know how you feel about the moon landing. Is it real or is it fake? Just say moon landing, real, moon landing, fake. That's literally all I need. And then maybe on the next show, if everybody will send me their beliefs, we'll say how many people believed, how many didn't believe. We'll just kind of go through that.
That'd be an interesting poll.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, let us know too if there's another conspiracy that you want us to cover, another topic you want us to cover. We'll make sure we do our research on it if we don't know quite a bit about it. And just remember, moving forward, anything you hear on this, don't take it as it's fact. We don't know what the hell we're talking about literally anything. All we know is that we just want to come on here and have a great time and put out some good content for you guys. But as always, Brandon, great time talking to you.
Always.
At the end of the day, stay spooky.